guys, my name is Robby Everhart. I'm a junior here at CBU. I'm a mechanical engineering student. I'm senior lead of chassis this year. I have a team of 5. I'm also one of this year's drivers for SAE EV. Super excited to get the car manufactured this year and drive it around track. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah. You excited about it?
So excited.
Yeah.
I love driving this car.
Dude, I wish I could drive it. I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, you know?
Yeah, the adrenaline rush is definitely high.
Yeah, it's real. So, talk to me a little bit about, like, how a race works. Like, just in general, what are the things you have to do to prepare for one? How do you interact with your team? Stuff like that.
So for SAE, we don't do a lot of like wheel-to-wheel racing. It's a lot of hot laps and autocross type things just for track times too, because we're not real racing drivers. We're just undergraduate college students pretending that we're driving a real fast race car. But as a driver, it's a high responsibility and high risk. We accept the danger of driving the car. There are definitely high chances of losing control of the car and hitting walls, or in our case, we have planters in our parking lot, so there's a high chance of injury, but we accept that and we do our best to keep it safe with safety gear, helmets, driver restraints, all that kind of stuff. Team dynamic is we have different people assigned to different roles during track days. People are timing. There's oftentimes 2 people outside of the car with radios communicating with the driver. That way they understand what the objective is during that day. We do autocross days, endurance days, acceleration days, or skid pad, just to test the performance of our car and try to tune it to drive and perform to the best of its ability.
All right, sounds great. You ever want to move on to, like, more higher levels of racing as you get older?
It's a funny thing you asked that, actually. I was about 12 years old, and me and my brother were asking for go-karts for Christmas, and the only reason my parents didn't get them for us was they're not legal to drive on the street. Why we thought we could drive them on the street, I have no idea. But that kind of thing kind of ended and moved on, and then I got here, and last year I put many hours and oftentimes 40-plus hours a week manufacturing the car, and I was, by the grace of God, selected to be one of the drivers, and I couldn't be more grateful. But the second I sat in the car, it just felt so right. Everything felt like that was where I was supposed to be, and every day since, I just think, like, where could I be if I got that go-kart when I was 12 years old? There's definitely that dream of wanting to be a race car driver, like going to Long Beach. We went to the Long Beach Grand Prix to display our car this year, and seeing all the Indy cars, the Porsche GT3 Cup cars driving around track. I'm just like, gosh, I would kill to get behind the wheel of one of those cars. Just growing up as a car guy, I just had a huge fascination of what you're able to accomplish, just pushing the absolute limits out of a motor, squeezing every bit of power out of it, and just pushing the limits of a car on track to the brink of losing traction and just slamming into a wall at 150 miles an hour. I don't know what it is about that gets me excited and want to put myself in a situation where I'm pushing the limits of a car, but that dream is surely there, and I think in the future I'm going to do what I can to see if I can get there and maybe get behind the wheel of a race car someday, but we'll see where God leads me.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. No, I feel you, like, 100%. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, why did I choose this career again? What am I doing? Could be doing something fun, you know? And on that note, tell me a little bit. I mean, you already talked about it a little bit, but I really want to get in deep about, like, what do you feel like in the race? Is it fast? Is it slow? Does things slow down? Like, describe it to me.
Yeah, so theoretically, like, our car's top speed is 66 miles an hour, and when you're thinking about that, it's like, dang, that's not that crazy. But when you're 3 inches off the ground, moving 66 miles an hour in a parking lot, that is really fast. And during testing, we were having a little bit of issues in fine-tuning our sensors, so you would let off the throttle, and there would still be 0.6 of a second where it would still be inputting power to the motor and accelerating the car, that 6/10 of a second, you're still going 66 miles an hour. Your foot's off the gas. It goes by very slow, but once all those things are tuned out and the driver's really able to focus on driving the car, there's this thing called tunnel vision that people get when you're going really fast. Everything just seems to kind of narrow in. For me, I don't have that. Everything slows down and widens up. And everything just becomes so clear even when I'm pushing the car to its absolute limit, which I think that's a huge trait and what makes me a really good driver, is just still being able to see everything perfectly and manipulate the car, place it in the right spot in the corner, get it to rotate around the corner properly, and just keeping the car balanced everywhere it needs to be, but also pushing it to where it's fighting for traction and getting the best possible lap times down as I can. I'm really excited for this year. I'm really excited to be training our drivers this year. I think we have a lot of potential in our driver's palette. It's just a matter of getting them all educated and understanding how a car is supposed to feel and getting their skills dialed in the classroom. And then once we get them in a car, once they're comfortable pushing their limits and getting them to the point where they can push the car to its limits, and we can drive fast at comp and reach our goal of placing top 3.